Good evening, all our viewers. You're watching on Live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Here are the major stories. This stage shares the third meeting of the Council of Ministers. International students, Egypt and France refuse enforce displacement of Palestinians. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. Under the chairmanship of the President of the Republic and the head of government, His Excellency Ismail Margele, it was held the Council of Ministers at this meeting Tuesday, 6 February 2024. More details in this report.
Sous la présidence du chef de l'État, son Excellence M. Ismail Margele, s'est tenue la troisième séance du Conseil des ministres en ce mardi 6 février 2024.
The first question is a communication on the national risk assessment and the national strategy to combat money laundering and terrorism financing. The Minister of the Interior presented this communication to the Council. The Republic of Djibouti undertook a national risk assessment with the assistance of the World Bank in February, therefore 2022. The objective of this assessment was to identify the threats and vulnerability of the anti-money laundering system, capital the financing of terrorism in view of FATF. Recommendation number 1, it is important to remember that the national assessment is a necessary step allowing the evaluated countries to identify inadequacies and gaps or to revise or supplement where appropriate its anti-money laundering system. This national risk assessment will be carried out by all the actors involved, in particular the National Police, the Gendarmerie, the General Prosecutor's Office of the Republic Customs Services, the management responsible for insurance supervision, the professional orders of financial institutions and public establishments in the fight against money laundering, the financing of terrorism, divided into 8 working groups under the supervision of a coordination committee set up by the Central Bank and the Financial Intelligence Service. A national report will therefore be submitted to the FATF, including the national strategy to combat money laundering and financing of terrorism. FATF team will visit Djibouti on February 18, and the assessment will take place on 14 TDM. This exercise includes for the authorities a better perception of risks, a training of risk control in the financial sector, increased coordination between actors, the carrying out of investigations and procedures, and the improvement of confiscation and training procedures. The second question concerns a bill approving the financial accounts of the Djibouti Study and Research Center for the 2022 financial year, and the CERT's financial accounts for the 2022 financial year are set at 99,252,000 Djiboutian francs and expenses at 97 million francs, with the surplus results of 2 million Djiboutian francs. CERT's revenues will increase in 2022. This increase linked to the increase in exceptional revenue of 151 million Djiboutian francs, and operating revenues are made up of income, therefore services, sales, topographical maps, and geological, as well as the sale of books and dictionaries published by the CER, and the subsidy, of course, from the state's own revenues, thus amount to 29.9 million Djiboutian francs. Compared to 59.3 million Djiboutian francs in 2021, total expenses, of course, are increasing and amount to 972 million francs compared to 129 million Djiboutian francs in 2021. In 2022, the Serbian has invested 38.4 million in equipment and tools, therefore in furniture too, as well as transport equipment. The third question concerns a degree approving the practice of the legal profession. This approval is to practice the legal profession is granted to Mr. Partoso in accordance with the provision of law number 239 relating to the legal profession.
Et d'une subvention, bien entendu, de l'État. Les recettes propres s'élèvent ainsi à 29,9 millions de francs Djibouti contre 59,3 millions de francs Djibouti en 2021. Les charges totales du CERT connaissent une progression et s'élèvent à 972 millions de francs contre 829 millions de francs Djibouti en 2021. En 2022, le CERT a investi 38,4 millions en matériel et outillage, donc en mobilier aussi, ainsi que du matériel de transport. La troisième question concerne un projet de décret portant agrément à l'exercice de la profession d'avocat. Cet agrément à l'exercice de la profession d'avocat est accordé à Madame Virna Rizzo, conformément aux dispositions de la loi numéro 236 relative à la profession d'avocat.
In the second part of the session, the Minister approved a number of legal projects listed in a table session business. For more details in this report.
Question est relative à un projet d'arrêté portant désignation.
The fourth question relates to a draft order appointing a general commissioner for the second edition of the Djibouti Book Fair. The purpose of this draft degree is to designate a general commissioner of the book fair, and this draft text complements degree number 22-23-337 Presidency Ministry of Youth and Culture of November 12, 2023, establishing the book fair. Indeed, the book fair is an annual event promoting book in all their dimensions and linguistic diversity. The fifth question concerns a draft order allocating plot of land for the benefit of the Djiboutian Servicing and Construction Company. It is therefore to allocate it to the Djiboutian Development and Construction Company, a plot of land with an area of 58 hectares located in the Eron Extension Subdivision. This plot is intended for the establishment of a real estate project. This allocation of land is part of the government's strategy aimed at encouraging the private sector in developing the housing sector. Last but not least, the sixth question concerns the degree transferring two plots of land in the name, respectively, of the State Secretary for Sports and the Djibouti National Youth Council. The purpose of the draft degree is therefore the transfer into private domain of the state of two plots of land, one of 14,000 square meters registered in the land book in the name of the State Secretary responsible for sports, and one plot of land with an area of 2,000 square meters registered in the name of National Council of Djiboutian Youth. A total area of 16,000 square meters. Finally, the head of state congratulated the Ministry of Culture and the Secretary General of the government for having organized, digitized, and transferred the first batch of provincial archives to the National Archives, and the head of state underlined the importance for ministerial departments to act quickly to preserve their archives and place them in the National Archives.
Et une parcelle de terrain d'une superficie de 2000 m² inscrite au nom du Conseil national de la jeunesse djiboutienne, soit une superficie totale de 16 000 m². Enfin, le chef de l'État a félicité la ministre de la Culture et le secrétaire général du gouvernement pour avoir organisé, numérisé et versé le premier niveau des archives présidentielles dans les archives nationales. Et le chef de l'État a souligné l'importance pour les départements ministériels d'agir rapidement dans le sens de la préservation de leurs archives et leur versement dans les archives nationales.
This morning, the Djiboutian Parliamentary Institution received third year's students from primary schools in the 7th district. This visit aims to raise awareness about parliamentary activities for the benefit of students. The Speaker of the House, the President of the National Assembly, a representative, Mr. Mohammed Dileita received these students in primary and middle schools in order to introduce them in the morning to the activities and rules and the place of the legislator during this visit, and under the guidance of administrators, the staff and students were able to live their daily routine of searching for knowledge in order to obtain information about parliaments, thanks to the logistical support and technical expertise of the General Secretary of the Parliamentary Institution of Djibouti, and the school children's toured the National Assembly facilities and received from the warm hospitality of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, accompanied by many representatives such as representative of Mr. Suleiman Tahir and Mr. Mustafa Mahmoud. In his speech, the President of the National Assembly, Mr. Mohammed Dileita, in his speech, wished a warm welcome of all the students in primary and middle schools in order to introduce them in the morning, the activities and the rules that place all the legislators during the educational tribe, the young people and their officials were able to benefit from the information with their guide during their tour, and their knowledge of the parliamentary institution and its contribution to the democracy and good governance, conclude the President of the National Assembly. In partnership with the Delegates Ministry in charge of digital economic and innovation, it was held in the National Assembly. A workshop was discussion centered on diplomacy and security, cyber. This initiative was implemented in close collaboration with some key actors such as and the European Union in an effort to strengthen national capabilities in the field of digital security, proactive cooperation between government agencies and international partners, and crucial importance to meet the growing need to enhance cyber diplomacy and security. Cyber in a increasingly connected world, which will face a rapid development for digital threats. The workshop highlighted these strategies, cooperation between the association, the national ministries, and the delegate ministry in charge of digital economic and innovation, which are important coordinators, the effort of ensuring a coherent approach to digital challenges. Moreover, these events take place in the context of significant progress achieved by Djibouti in the field of communication, demonstrating the country's continued commitment to strengthen its infrastructure, digitals, and plays leading roles in the area of global communication. The workshop concluded many prominent figures, especially the second Vice President of the National Assembly, Mr. Omar Ahmed Wais, and the Secretary General of the Ministry of Economy, Digital, but also along with the representative of the European Union mission, many parliamentarians as well as experts from France and European Union. As the conclusion of the workshop, the delegation paid a short visit to the President of the National Assembly VIP lounge. Hosted by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation on Sunday and Monday, the last 2 days, the work of fifth session of Djibouti Turkish Joint Committee for Cooperation, Economic and Commercials. The technical discussions were held on Sunday, February 4. There are a number of important topics under discussions at the expert level, such as trade transfer, the transportation, investment, and technical, but also industrial cooperation, which will provide a rich platform for exchange. On Monday, February 5, 2024. The fifth session was held. The joint committee of two countries at the ministerial level, headed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Operations, government spokesman Mohammed Ali Yusuf, and the Minister of the Turkish Minister Transport and Infrastructures. This session, which was characterized by in-depth exchange, witnessed the presence of Minister of the Structure and also the Equipment, Mr. Hassan Said Ibrahim, the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Fisheries, but also the Minister of Trade and Tourism, Mr. Mohammed Warsam Diriye, along with the members of accompanying delegation to the Turkish ministers and experts from both countries. At the beginning of the meeting, the two ministers, Mohammed Ali Yusuf and the Turkish ministers, stressed on the distinguished relation on historical ties existing between Djibouti and Ankara. They also highlighted in their speech the joint commitment to strengthen and consolidating this relation to meet their need, the aspiration of the two friendly people. In conclusion, a report was signed, a memorandum. The agreement concluded between the two parties. In his speech, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mohammed Ali Yusuf, noted that this work bears witness to a real commitment to strengthen links, economic and trade relations between Djibouti and Turkey, which open the doors to mutual cooperation and benefit in the sector of trade, transportation, investment, but also it was, he said, worth nothing that the Turkish Minister in Transport and Infrastructure, within the framework of participation in this work of a joint committee, important conversation with the chairman, and also who received at the presidential palace yesterday. The official inauguration of the dam was celebrated with a great pump yesterday, 6 February. The dam was 270 meters long with 35 meters high. Is currently operational and to recover the millions of waters to use to flow into the sea each year, entirely financed by the government of the Republic of Turkey and built by the Turkish companies. This work of vital importance for the safety of households in various districts of Djibouti city has a storage capacity of some storage of 14 million cubic meters of water. The Minister of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, Water and Resources is integrating for this project, which stimulate fund and markets that guaranteeing the area some of 30 kilometers from to the town center. In an intervention, the Minister of Agriculture, Livestock, Fishing, Water and Fisheries Resources, Mohammed Ahmed Awale, wishes a warm welcome to Djibouti, the ambassador of Turkey. This work of vital importance for the safety of households in these various districts of Djibouti city has a storage, said the minister, a storage capacity of some 14 million cubic meters of water, conclude Minister. And now moving on, in Kutabuya district, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Ms. Sulufa Ismail Abdu, went in the south of the interior region, accompanied by her senior official from her ministries in the Khel region authorities to the Kutabuya district to meet the community living in these areas. A warm welcome was received for the minister and the great hospitality from the people living in this area. The minister inaugurated 2 buildings of a community building and a house and a warehouse for stock. It is worth nothing that all the structures and buildings inaugurated by the Minister Ulufa Ismail Abdu during the third the Djibouti Agency for Social Development, which is task are vital so to the development of the region, made a vice tour in Kutabuya district.
gabadhagiinay tusinaa layhaliiloy halelaa libaadho habbag samiyay layhaliiloy halelaa daabisee hagatinkiino layhaliiloy halelaa tesgellee hagatayyuntaa layhaliiloy halelaa layhaliiloy halelaa libaadho habbaw kokinnaa layhaliiloy halelaa umuuno habbaw kohinnaa.
After that, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity stopped of Kutabuya district and locality. They take part of a ceremony to meet all the authorities of the district of Kutabuya under the patronage of the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity. For this event, the chief of the town of Kutabuya district and implementing bodies of the centers and institution under the supervision of the Ministry of Digital Economic and Innovation are contracting authorities to the program, which is part of the strengthening of economic resilience of vulnerable enterprises on the menu of the fifth strong master delegation inauguration and workshop meeting in the form of the tribe to the most remote areas in this file.
Nibaro habba uko kinna, lai halilo halilla, umuno habba uko hinna.
In her speech, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Ms. Ulufa Ismail Abdu, announced that a fund of 1.2 million will be deposited at the CPEC to the south only for the locality of Kutabia so that these inhabitants can benefit money and launch their income generating activities and repay the imprint amount so that others can have access to the fund. This loan to the CPEC will be carried out without interest rate. Also, the Solidarity Fund with the initial fund of 500,000 which will be managed by the village of Kutabia itself, which will be used to meet the small need of the inhabitants of Kutabia and the manage of small daily needs. The Solidarity Fund must be kept levels and for the regularly need of Kutabia district. After Kutabia, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Ms. Ulufa Ismail Abdu, accompanied by senior executive from her department and authorities of the Dakhil region, went to the locality of Sankal to meet the community living in this region. On the site, there was an atmosphere of great days in honor of the Minister and her accompanying delegation. The minister inaugurated two premises and community premises, but also a warehouse for stock. All the structures and premises inaugurated by the Minister Ulufa Ismail Abdu during this tour, built by the ADDS, the Djiboutian Agency for Social Development, the executive bodies and project of the mission are vital for the development of the region and locality. These premises are built as part of the participatory approach call on community development. The construction of this infrastructure is part of the access to infrastructure and basic social service, which is one of the major axes of the national strategies of non-contributory social protections and a strengthening of human capital. A meeting between the delegation led by the Minister Ulufa Ismail Abdu and the population of Sankal took place under the village of Sankal. A meeting early awaited by the resident of Sankal. The minister said it is worth nothing that all the structures and buildings inaugurated by the Minister Ulufa Ismail Abdu and during this tour was made by the Agency for Social Development, which is tasks are vital to the development of the region and the interior region. The minister, in her speech, also there were a lead for the sub-prefect and prefecture of Sankal depend on welcoming the ministerial delegation and urge the compliance of compatriots from Sankal to benefit their various improvement carried out by the IDDS and regional tank for the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity for the various action carried out of these areas to improve the living condition of the population. In her speech, the Minister of Ms. Sulufa Ismail Abdu, by responding to the grievances in question of the population of Sankal, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity recalled that it was the National Week of Solidarity and that it was the duty for the ministry to meet the population and to find out about the progress of the various mass program and project. She also recalled that thanks to the MAS and IDDS, many social projects and programs have been seen the light of day in Sankal, and we know that many things remain to be done, recalling that the minister promised her compatriots from Sankal that their grievance concerning the rehabilitation of access road and village electrifications as well as the internet network will be transmitted to the authorities concerned. The minister continued by recalling one of the main instructions need to the population and a donation found, but above all by allowing them to be provide themselves all their necessary need. Other news, a program was held at the headquarters of the National Agency for Employment Training and Vocational Integration today, dedicated to the preparing young people in the hospitality sector. This program is a new program and will provide employment opportunities in the sector hospitality for Djiboutian youth. This meeting, which falls within the framework of the government's program to combat unemployment, was held under the patronage of the Minister of Labor in charge of formalization and social protection, Mr. Umar Abdi Said. This program was attended by the representative of the United States Agency for International Development in Djibouti and a number of senior USAID representatives in Djibouti and senior official in the Ministry of Labor and the officials of most prestigious hotels establishment in our country, such as Kampaski Sheraton Hotel. As for the National Agency for Employment, Training and Vocational Integration reductions, the youth unemployment rate is one of the tasks the Ministry of Labor, which is responsible for training and social protection, which adopted a strategy aimed at achieving this, enhancing the employability of young and job seekers by connecting players in labor markets. And now in Dakhel region, the Minister of Labor in charge of formalization, from the Minister of Youth and Culture, led by the Director and the region. In the Dakhel region, the same contest for the formalizations and Ministry of Labor went to responding the invitation from youth people living in this area side. This visit falls within the framework of the regional youth management and development policy. The main goals of this visit was to respond to the demands represent of young people, including the facilities and promoting the village and express the young people delegation formally deliver important equipment such as the footballs and trophies. And for the international scenes, Egyptian head of the diplomacy, Mr. Sami Hashukri, met with his French counterpart yesterday in the new administrative capital. In the press conference that followed the meeting, the Egyptian foreign minister warned the borders conflict could make the region, if necessary, the ceasefire is not reached in Gaza. Mr. Shukri said that the risk of expanding the conflict in the Middle East due to the war in Gaza, the threats are we see the navigations in the Red Sea and operation, the military situation taking place in Syria and Iraq, as well as the military situation on the Israeli-Lebanese borders. They warn against escalation and the situation of sliding into conflicts. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.